Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Revision video, hopefully going to help you guys out who are preparing for the Before One PLC pre-release case study for the May 2024 Paper 1 exam. Now, back to our previous video on how to approach the Paper 1. Let's have a look at the 200 words they've given you. Hopefully by now the teachers have issued the case study to you and you've been working on it. Look for the clues. Music festivals, growing number globally. Now link to the syllabus. Okay, growth of businesses. Think strategy. Think Ansos's matrix. Festivals varying location, size, music genre. Think marketing. Think segmentation, targeting, positioning, strategy. Include commercial multiple day events on farmland. Now link to the UK. I'm going to go through the Glastonbury Festival in the UK as research background. But that's on a farm in the UK. It's been going since the early 70s and it's the largest festival in the UK. But commercial multiple day, back to the syllabus, objectives, profit making. Community-led events in public-owned parks. So again, social objectives. Now look for the syllabus in everything. They are giving you clues. Now back to the notion of clues. Quick mind map here. Where is the syllabus? We've mentioned lots of these things already, but look what else there is. Seasonal business. Think cash flow. Think about national versus international. Think about your marketing strategies for international festivals. Reasons for growth. Boston Matrix, life cycle, economies of scale. How can you actually link the syllabus back in? Now, size of the business. Boston Matrix. Okay, new product development, linking again with Ansoff. Look at how that's going to impact on your cash flow. When you're looking at festivals, be it in the UK, be it in your home country, look at the different bands, look at the different services on offer. Okay, this is a big issue you need to look at here in terms of festivals and the business application. But again, here, mind map it. Again, you've got the directions of attack potentially. Right. Paragraph 2. Okay, where are the hints again? European company. Now, from a UK perspective, I'll go back if you watch some of our other videos. We do rant and rave a lot about stupidity that is Brexit. But again, the problems about doing business in the UK companies going into Europe, again, regulations now. So growth of the business, okay, think steeple, okay, think political, legal. Timelines, identify your dates. Now, Before One has been around since 2001. Now, 2016, bit of an issue here you should have identified already, the use of terminology, but don't get put off by it. They're using private limited to public limited company. Now, straight away, back to the syllabus, limited liability, growth of business. Okay, benefit stroke drawbacks of moving from private limited to public limited company. Now, main benefit is finance for expansion. But one of the issues with being a PLC is the idea of divorce of ownership from control. The larger you become, the more shareholders you have what's called dilution of equity. Okay, where's your control? Before One has 60 permanent employees. So again, here we go, Unit 2. Relies on temporary workers and freelancers. So straight away, motivation. Okay, HR guys, think about Shamrock organization. Now think about issues of recruitment, retention. Now, are people going to be available at the right time? Can they afford to just work festivals for you for 3 or 4 occasions per year and survive during the year? So do you have access to the skills you require at the time? Now again, we've broken this down for you in terms of another mind map. Back to HR management, HR planning in particular. You know, this is a really good point of attack for festivals. Okay, how can you actually have access to the people at that point in time? Particularly going back to Europe idea, if you're in the UK, for example, you know, people having that freedom of movement, which is now lost, who are coming across quite happy just to work for the summer. The sources of finance, again, short versus long-term strategy. What about dividends? Okay, what about risks? Okay, risks of going from private limited to public limited company, risks about growing your business. Right, paragraph 3. Okay, where are the clues here? 5 music festivals each year. So again, back to seasonal business, think cash flow. Contracts with 5 farmers, use their farmland. And back to the examiners, talking about their experiences obviously in Glastonbury and using that as a context. 5 farmers only. Gain control of your business, personal relationships with those farmers. Average fee of $100,000. Think about setup costs. For your seasonal based business here, you must have reserves. Where's that money coming from? Don must clean up after festivals. Average cost $250,000. The work we're undertaking with students across the globe, there's obviously an issue with teaching of the key concepts, sustainability, ethics in particular. Okay, think about sustainability. That's going to be a big point of attack this summer. Bonds directors regard environmental sustainability as a significant challenge. Here we go. So again, ethics, sustainability, link to your image, link to your USP, link to your promotional abilities. Again, I will mention Glastonbury. Look at Glastonbury, look at the Glastonbury website and what they actually do in terms of their sustainability. Right, in our mind map, a couple of extra links back to the course. Revenue streams. Now think about differentiation, think about product development, think about how you can constantly innovate and offer new products or services when you're running music festivals. It's not just here's a ticket, okay, here's the music. What else are you doing? Yes, there's food, there's drink, etc. What other services are you offering through which you can generate revenue? You're a seasonal based business. Look at the case study terminology, linking back to sustainability, bamboo cutlery, solar power. So again, environmental sustainability, there's a big clue there, okay, towards where they're going to push. Paragraph 4 mentions a lot of what we said already, but in particular, May to August, again, seasonality, runs from Friday to a Sunday. Think about the number of days. How are you going to generate sufficient revenue? Okay. Each festival site takes 2 weeks to start up. Cost. 1 week to dismantle. Cost. Security fencing, 60 stages, enough space for camping. 3,000 toilets, 25,000 waste bins. Now, the toilets and waste bins in particular, think sustainability. Okay, think about the cleanup. But again, all of that is pointing to costs. All of that's pointing to cash flow. All of that's pointing to seasonality. And back to your strategy, how can this business, if it's going from being a limited to a PLC, actually grow to achieve the economies of scale they're looking for? Okay, think about the European influence, think about the international festival angle. Now, in the mind map, I would add in particular back to the timeline. Look at the start date of the company. Look at when they actually converted. Look at where they actually are 2024 in terms of their actual growth and their time it's taken them to get there. You know, is this a sensible strategy going for PLC status? How are they going to justify that? Was it slow growth? You know, your organic versus inorganic growth. You know, you could argue it's a low risk growth strategy. Back to your marketing. Okay, think your 4 7Ps and how they can impact on revenue sources. Okay, the accommodation options for the festival, the merchandise services offered. Think about what you can actually charge for a ticket, and obviously that will link to who's actually on the gig set lineup. Now, irrespective of where you are in the world, remember you can use festivals in your own country. Doesn't matter. I'm going to focus here on the UK, primarily Glastonbury in particular, but I'll mention some other festivals from the US. And we'll try and say, well, look, here's the 5 hours they're actually looking at in terms of background to festivals and types of issues that's happened to festivals in recent time. Now, the first issue here was actually say you should identify is marketing. Now, 2024, what have you got on offer in the UK? Look at those four options. A hell of a lot more festivals going on. Are they mass market? Are they niche market? Okay, look at the style of music. Look at the audiences they're attempting to target. So therefore, could you, as a company, offer more than one type of festival? Okay, Glastonbury is a mass market. If you ever go to Glastonbury, it's almost like being on holiday. It's not just the music. Okay, there's a whole list of different things you can actually do at Glastonbury and be there for 3, 4, 5 days. You know, the whole of the time it's actually on. Okay, but think about segmentation, targeting, positioning. Think about strategy. Think about product development and software in particular. Here, compare and contrast niche mass marketing. I've given you some of what's on offer in Glastonbury. And if you look at Rolling Loud and Stagecoach from the US, you've got mass versus niche. Now, from the examiner's point of view, your background, okay, there's nothing wrong with, even though it's BON, if you're talking about strategy, okay, he's bringing something in and say, well, look, part of the strategy could be product development. Okay, for example, Glastonbury in the UK has decided to do X. Okay, if you're going for the niche strategy, what could you actually do and be successful? Okay, have a quick look at those festivals. Very, very useful stuff to give you a niche versus mass marketing strategy and looking at how product has been developed in terms of Glastonbury in particular, started in 1971 in the field. And it's gone on to the 200,000 people. Tickets normally sell out in less than 15 minutes each year. Okay, people are desperate to get through the door, and it's people from across the globe going to Glastonbury. Okay, pricing strategies. You know, if you look at Glastonbury this year, you're talking £360 for a ticket. Yeah, if you want to camp, you bring your own tent. Well, that's free. If you use one of their pre-erected tents, you know, 2 people to 8 people cost you 435 up to 1,500. Glamping is basically just more luxurious camping. But again, look at the contrast. But look at the cost there, and look at the fact that you have to buy your ticket on top. Now, this is why Glastonbury only occurs once a year. The revenue they generate is sufficient to keep the Glastonbury company operating. Compare that with Rolling Loud and Stagecoach. Okay, but Stagecoach in particular, Desert Diamond VIP package. Take a quick look at what's on there. That's $3,000. Okay, but look at what's there. Look at the demand. Look at particular music genre. Okay, how culturally with Stagecoach, particularly in towards the south of the US, how demand for those tickets were exceptionally high. So back to your price elasticity. How can you actually justify these tickets? Okay, how would you actually justify people paying that amount of money? How can you actually work on the basis you can do this? Simple. The tickets sell out. The demand is excessively high. So you can charge virtually whatever and people keep on coming through the door for the experience. Now, a few figures for Glastonbury. 2023, if you look at the actual costs here, so back to what you've got in the case study, setup costs, toilets, fencing, security, cleanup costs, etc., you're looking at £40 million to stage a Glastonbury in 2023. Now, contingency, cash reserves. Now, good ambush, I personally think, for this summer's case study is impact of COVID. Now, Glastonbury as an organisation had cash reserves of 10.6 million 2019. If you look at the bottom of those figures, their profit and loss reserve 2022, 2023. Yes, they're rebuilding their profit and loss reserves. Okay, but look at what happened in terms of COVID basically shut the world down. So if you're relying on a seasonal business that operates in BON's case, 5 events a year, and the world comes to an end, you're not generating revenue. Okay, how are you going to keep those permanent employees in employment? Okay, how are you going to keep your business running? Now, Glastonbury look at charitable donations, they look at around £2 million a year charitable donations from basically running the events. Look at the headline costs. The headline acts, the main acts, they limit to £500,000. Look what's happened to ticket prices. 26% increase 2023. And that again is looking back at COVID, trying to rebound from COVID. Now, 26% increase, there was a lot of negative PR in the press. However, it's sold out again this year, rapidly. The usual standard of sellers. So people basically may have moaned about it, but they're still desperate to go and see Glastonbury or experience Glastonbury as an event. If you haven't been taught the 4 key concepts, ask the teacher why. If it's been taught in very limited detail, you need to go back to the teacher and say, please go over these again. If you're not finding a lot of help from the teacher, get hold of the syllabus. In the syllabus, you'll find everything IB actually have to say about the 4 key concepts. I think it's on page 12. However, you have here the IB view of sustainability. The 4 key concepts are your underpinning. They're almost like a checklist for every exam question you look at. Because again, the course is based on the key concepts and how you can actually integrate them. Now, IB look at 3 different elements of sustainability: cultural, social, economic, environmental. Now, if you look at the black rectangle, whatever you want to call it, at the bottom there, triple bottom line. Business decisions should consider the impacts of their results on people, planet, and profit. 3 Ps. The triple bottom line. Now, the attack is coming. There are signposts in the information they've released for this summer's case study regarding sustainability, bamboo cutlery, solar power. Environmental sustainability being a challenge. Make sure you know that term and go back to your key concepts and link it to business decision making. So everything you do as a business, think ethics, think sustainability, creativity, etc. Now, how are you going to integrate that into the case study? So please study this and go back and study the other concepts. Information you can use, bring in Glastonbury, the worthy pledge, as they call it. And you can go onto their website and look at their full environmental policies. Now, once you pay for a ticket, you must sign the worthy pledge. So sustainability is actually ingrained within everything they're attempting to do. And the bullet points there give you examples. Keep the campsite tidy. Take your belongings, camping gear home. Treat the fields and people in them with kindness and respect, etc. Again, examples for you here. Sustainability, how it can be used in parts of your marketing, your promotion. Yes, it's a festival, it's an event, but it's an event it believes in what? It has values, it's attempting to achieve something. Link back to the charitable donations. It's not all about making money at all costs. Now, other festivals you can actually use, particularly for sustainability. Gives you some stats there from the US. Coachella, Stagecoach, Desert Trip. Ballpark figures of waste every day. Tons of waste produced in the UK each year. And gives you comparison to average household in the UK amounts of waste they actually produced. Now, Pickathon, what have they actually done? 2010, first American Music Festival, 0 waste. Plastic beer cups, stainless steel cups. Use your cup all weekend. It becomes collectible. Reusable water bottles instead of plastic water bottles. Free water. So again, the volume of festival waste reduced by limiting plastic. Now they've done a hell of a lot more coming up. Now lots of businesses have gone for eliminating plastic, but Pickathon took it further. Single-use dishware utensils. Now this is your bamboo, okay? 2011, single-use food dishes utensils, reusable bamboo-based dishes. So your additional terminology in the case study, okay? This is where they're linking to. So you have your bamboo-based dishes and utensils, and they're washed for you, so they're reusable. Now look at stats. Eliminating plastic, waste went down by 40%. Eliminating single-use dishware, again, reduced waste by additional 30%. Take a look at what they've done in terms of minimizing their carbon footprint about using the site. Look at what they've done about solar energy. Again, solar energy again highlighted in the case study. So you've got background here. Okay, you can use this in, say, look, BON could be doing this. This compares with, say, Pickathon, the US. You know, these are the things they're looking for. Your 5 hours background research. You know, additional examples you can bring in to show wider reading and basically additional understanding just of your theory. Now, last point of concern from us in terms of potential ambushes. They've mentioned greenwashing in the additional terminology. Make sure you've carried out some research, but link it to ethics. Now, ethics simply are the moral principles, code, or morals that govern the behavior of a person, group of people. So again, back to business decision making. Now, greenwashing simply is companies which convince customers companies doing more to protect the environment actually is. So this is again back to your marketing. If you suddenly realize it's a trend in the market, you've got your Glastonbury's, etc. You've got your Pickathons pushing sustainability, offering these events, okay, trying to be ethical businesses. There are people out there trying to convince you they are purely ethical in what they're attempting to do because they realize that's a trend in the market and people will pay that premium price for sustainable, ethical events. Are they actually truly ethical or not? So please have a look at greenwashing, do a quick bit of background research. Remember, in total, it's only 5 hours research they expect for you. Now, hopefully this is useful, okay, this video, guys. Look back at the previous one where we've looked at specimen paper. In particular, we've also looked at, in that video, how to answer the questions, section A, section B questions in terms of exam technique. So please use both videos together. And good luck this summer. And again, if you're taking exams later in November or using this next year as a background, good luck.